the Spurs versus the Mavericks.
That's actually a really good one, bro.
These Spurs, like almost like a blast from the past. It just feels like, okay, they're finally over. The Spurs run is over. Greg Popovich doesn't have the same touch that he's had, but honestly, the Spurs have been coming back. Before the All-Star break, I think they dropped 3 of their last 5, but each one of those losses was within 5 points. Coach Pop is still chucking for the Spurs. Right now, they have an assist turnover ratio of 2.25, which is the highest in NBA history. And their turnover rate is 11 turnovers per 100 possessions. So about 11 per game. That's the lowest for any team in the last 25 years.
Yeah, that's crazy.
They're starting to become over 500. And DeMar DeRozan was in questions to be an all-star. So, Gifton, who you got in this one?
You know what, man? Because we was talking about him when we first started doing Sports U. Luka Doncic, man. It's just something about Luka. This guy is just killing it.
But everybody knows that Luka Doncic is great. So what is going to set that apart for this game? It's not just a one-man team, You have the whole Mavericks squad that's been on fire lately, especially coming into the break. They're both teams that were kind of struggling in the beginning. Spurs and Mavericks, dog. You're just going to say Luka Doncic? You got anything else?
The Mavericks have always kind of had that chip on their shoulder. With always that we have something to prove, that we are a playoff team. They had lost to the Clippers in the bubble, but that was a hellified 6 games. I feel like KP has something to prove now, especially with his health. That he's a quality big man still, and he still has it. Josh Richardson, who was acquired from Miami, I feel like he has something to prove still, because he's still he's a quality player.
From the 76ers, but no.
You're my bad.
The Mavericks right now, they won their last 9 games, 9 out of 11 games, all right? Now, let's take a look at the Mavericks team that lost to the Clippers, right? Because you always just want to get better after each season.
Right.
With that squad, they just didn't knock down their shots. Now, this Magic's team, it doesn't seem like they're even a better overall shooting team. Seth Curry departed. They got Josh Richardson back, but he's a little bit better on defense, maybe. But
moderate.
No, I'm just saying that it was about their supporting cast. You already know that Luka Doncic is the best.
Yes.
He's one of the best players in the league.
Yes.
And then when it comes down to it, KP has to be amazing on defense, because we already know that he's an amazing offensive scorer, right? But the only defender that's on that squad right now is Dorian Finney-Smith. And it's funny to say Dorian Finney-Smith is the defender, but he has a body that can switch onto anybody and can actually lock up some guards there too. So if Porzingis can really lock down that internal defense there, they can actually put a lot of. Think about it this way: you already know how good they are on offense, and so Tim Hardaway Jr. is all depends on him, because KP always has the offensive consistency when he's there, and then you have Luka Doncic, but it's him that actually does that extra over the edge type thing. They had Jalen Brunson, who's starting to become a 3-level scorer right now as well, instead of just doing his what he used to go to was his mid-range moves and stuff. So Jalen Brunson is actually being very efficient when it comes down to it. 41% of his shot attempts come in the mid-range area, and he's converting 52% of those. And right now, for a career high, he's shooting 42% on threes. They are now having this supporting cast that it's just names that you never heard of, and they're developing from within. They're starting to catch fire after Luka Doncic had those messages to the team. I think that the Mavericks will ultimately continue to be on fire, take advantage of a Spurs squad who had no all-stars there, might be depreciated, and hopefully, in my opinion, these Mavs can just take another step and put a fire out when it comes to the Spurs, who are starting to turn their season around, especially with DeJounte Murray doing his shit. Another thing to kind of point out is this Mavericks team is missing wide open threes. Let's just take an account of Josh Richardson, a guy that you mentioned, and Kristaps Porzingis. In 2019, so basically last season, he shot 3.2 wide open threes a game, and he shot them at a 40% clip. Right now, he's shooting the same amount, 3.2 threes a game. Wide open, he's shooting 29.5%.
Fuck.
So that's a 10% difference. And they're wide open. How are you going to feel when you're taking a contested three? You're not going to feel motivated or determined to do any of that. And then Josh Richardson, he shot 1.5 open threes a game last year, 32%. Now it's at a mere 23% at 1.8. So a little bit more.
Fuck.
A little bit more. So if they start hitting their threes, and it's coming from 2 guys who are in Porzingis already kind of consistently showing offensive stuff, Josh Richardson, it can be up and down because there's other people in front of him in the line when it comes to like offensively. But like you said, they got some pieces and they got like Jalen Brunson that's coming up too. So for me, man, I think that the Mavericks are starting to come around and they'll be ready for the playoffs.
Definitely.